Hey, what up, guys? It's JuiceBox. Today we're going to be doing something a little different. We're not going to be playing Terraria. I'm a little burnt out with that game, as you guys could probably imagine after 1,000 hours in a single map building a mega base. Figured I'd do something different. Anybody that knows me knows I love to build any building game, playing any building game. So right now we've been playing some Satisfactory. Been playing Factorio, Kerbal Space Program, Crossout, a bunch of all other games, but really been enjoying Satisfactory at the moment. So I figured I would give you guys a tour of my current mega base that I've been working on. The goal with this one, however, was I wanted to build a main bus and then pipe everything through the base, but I wanted to make the base look like a giant city. So everybody that's got videos out right now, they've been doing giant, essentially factories, which makes sense, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted something unique. I like doing unique stuff. So as you can see right here's my hub, and this is what I refer to as the penthouse. So it's a nice little chill hangout. We got the meme cat. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? There he is. And then I am running mods. I am running sign mods with lighted up mods and a few other things. But this is essentially what I'm going after. So a giant long street where I'm piping everything underneath said street, and all of these buildings are factories. So these first couple factories are what I refer to as my mom and pop shops. They are very small factories, just enough for me to grab building materials to continue building the rest of the base. They're not meant to really pipe any supplies into the bus. So then as you continue to go down, the skyscrapers get bigger and we're building more and more materials. Little pro tip that I've kind of learned for anybody who wants to do any type of main bus line is label what you're doing and have the number output next to it. So that makes it a lot easier to do the math on how much materials you're pulling into the bus and then how much materials you're pulling out of the bus. But this is essentially the base. So right here is my main building. This is what I call the architectural building. It's got all my toys. This is basically my personal house in this game. And then I've got little kind of tram areas to pick up your little crazy cart, drive around like a crazy person. And yeah, so then I've got this center section that has, and apologize for these epileptic inducing strobe lights going on right now. Since the game had a recent patch update, the individual who did the lighted up mod has not updated his project yet, so it's kind of glitching out at the moment. So the lights can't tell if it's day or night. They're supposed to be set to automatic to where they turn on at night and then turn off during the day, but as you can see, they're yeah, seizure-inducing epileptic strobe lights. So I have these tubes that run along the street. The right side tube will run one full city block, and then the left side tube on the other side will run half a city block. So it makes it easier to run around through the streets and get where you're going to. The way this is organized, excuse me, is this is one city block. So far all I've got done is one city block, and that would be basically what I would consider all my tier 1 technologies. So everything you would start off on your normal base with. Now this is not my starting base. My starting base is all the way over here, and I've got a bunch of peripheral other little bases set around the world that pipe everything into this one. And then the end goal is to have everything built at this facility, but we're a long ways from that. So this is still a work in progress, but I just figured I would show you guys what I'm doing just to kind of inspire other builds and see how clean of a build you guys can get, and yeah, just try to get away from the whole factory style of building in this game. I mean, it's kind of the point. I mean, it is the point, but I really wanted to see just how kind of homey and fun I could make a base. Same as I did in Terraria, like a lot of little details, makes you just want to explore it. So you run over in here and you grab your materials over here, grab what you need, and run on out. So I know you guys want to see the guts of this thing and how it all works, so we'll run under here. So this is the monstrosity that I call the belt waterfall. I mean, this is 40, I believe it's 40 lines coming in. We're pulling materials from all over the sector of the world, and everything gets piped up here. So this is everything that I needed to basically start off Tier 1 technologies, and now we're to the point where we need Tier 2 technologies, so the more advanced stuff. We also have train systems here. I thought I came up with a relatively clever and compact way to be piping in all my materials. I built a giant factory in Factorio that was basically all train systems, and I kind of wanted to do that same thing here just because you can transfer so much more materials doing so from a longer distance. So our inline is down here, so the inline will come through, snakes through, hits the station right here, and then we'll rise up and then ride on out. And with the current situation with the trains is there's no clipping, so you can have a ton of trains running on this and they won't run into each other. The only thing you have to worry about is the timing, to where once another train comes in, if there's still a train at the station, it kind of glitches things out. So you got to get your timings right. But we are pumping materials from all over the place, and this over here is a power facility. This over here is what I've been calling New Silicon Valley, where I'm producing microchips, circuit boards, computer equipment, motors, any of the more of the T2 type style technologies I've been building over there and pumping into the base to add to what I'm going to be building here. So the main bus line is under here, and I'll show you guys how I went about doing that. So the way I decided to do the bus lines was I've been using these walls. These walls are incredibly useful for this. They give me the proper spacing, and they enable me to put a splitter and a splitter, or a merger, or a combination of the two right next to each other. Things that the conveyor stacks wouldn't allow me to do. And when you build a main bus, same as it was in Factorio, like, you really have to monitor your balancing on how much materials you're pumping through each line. So what I've done here is I've designed a balancing system for a 4-lane split. Each material runs on 4 belts, so I can pull from any one of these 4 belts, and it will split up all the materials up evenly and then disperse them where they need to go. And the way I've been doing that is just a merger with a splitter, and then just kind of crisscrossing them all, and then running these vertical belts to make sure everything gets mix matched. And it's been working out really well. The only issue that I have found so far is when I went from upgrading Mark III belts to Mark IV belts, is when you place your splitters and your mergers, or a merger, or splitter and splitter, in this case a merger and a splitter, this close together, and you go to upgrade the lines in these machines don't upgrade. So there's a dead spot. So you'll go from a 480 belt to a 480 belt with a 240 right in the middle, and it just becomes a choke point. So what I've been having to do is, any of these lines, as you can see, the blue ones are ones that I've fixed, and the solution that I've come up to this is just split them apart. Now it doesn't seem to affect it anymore. There seems to be kind of like a dead space and a dead space on either side of these units, to where when you upgrade it, it just doesn't upgrade, and it's been a really big inconvenience, because once you start getting down here to where I've got a ton of materials, so now we're up to 120 belts of materials. There's an entire wall of balancers here that I built. No, I'm not going to tell you how long that took to build. It took hours. It was mind-numbing. But I get to do it all over again. Yay! So the blue lines are already done, but these guys all need to get done. And to be honest, I'm going to have to rebuild this one as well, because I built them right next to each other. So they need to be spaced out again, so by the time I upgrade to Mark V belts, I don't have to do this again. I mean, it's too crazy. So like I said, am running mods. I'm running a teleporter to be able to get around. This base just got too big too fast, and it's just gonna keep going. But we are up to 120 lines. I don't have a lot of them strung in here yet because, as I said, it's a work in progress. I just kind of wanted to show you guys what I'm doing, what the plans are, and kind of build as I go videos, just to keep you guys updated on what I've been doing. For those of you who are still asking for Terraria updates on building things there, I do plan on doing it, but I am burnt out with that game at the moment. So those are in the mix. They will be coming. I'm also creating a list of things that you guys have been asking for, like how I do certain things, architectural styles, the electronic doors that I have in Terraria to where the NPCs can't get through. So we will be getting to it. It's just I just don't want to do it right now. So we're this is the craziness that this base will become, and as block 2 continues, which will be, I think, 7 buildings, each block 7 buildings long, 7 or 8 buildings long. By the time we get into tier 3 technologies, this floor will more than likely drop down more, and I will probably add, I don't know, probably double the amount of belts. So we'll go probably 240 belts of full materials by the time we're in tier 3 technologies. I knew this base was going to be big, but I didn't realize, I guess, how big it really is going to get. So that is the goal here, is just to keep extending this city street, so by the time we're at the very end, you're just looking down essentially like a Las Vegas strip of just giant skyscrapers and craziness. We are running farm mod. I got a little farming sector over here, and we are going to continue pulling in as many resources from around this map as possible. We're just now starting to get into train infrastructure, because I'm just now starting to get enough computers and reinforced frames to start building that stuff. So design in progress. We are, let's see, we'll go over here. We'll show you the oil facility. I do have a oil faithful facility, or an oil facility that I've called Oil Faithful. We'll play on words. And then New Silicon Valley, as I said, is producing a lot of my electronics. Let's see, we'll go over here as the game autosaves. Alright, so Oil Faithful. So this is an entire facility, pretty much just sitting static at the moment, that I built. So we're using all the oil over here, which is, I think, about 3,600 oil. There's a ton of oil over here. So we have currently 60,000 rubber on standby and 80,000 plastic sitting on standby. And this facility will pump out a lot of materials, so we're going to need quite a bit of trains over here. And as I said, just don't have the resources to do it yet. But it's going to be pretty impressive. Pretty proud of this one right at the moment. Never built an oil facility this large, so, and again, I apologize for the strobing lights until that gets updated. I'm just gonna have to deal with it. So everything gets pumped in through here. I have my little doggo farm, my little guys running around. There they are. There's about 5 or 6 of them in there. I don't know where the rest of them are. But the, let's see. But yeah, we're just pumping all the materials in from over here and doing that. Let's see. I'll show you the starting base where I started off, primarily because I didn't want to show you guys my racetrack. Since the addition of the factory carts, which I call the crazy carts, I decided it would be entertaining to... Where am I going? Let's see. Coal station outpost, start base. I thought it would be entertaining to build a racetrack. So they just basically just run around in circles, and then they periodically pull into the pits, like this little guy is right now, and he'll take off and run through, and they just run over it. Yeah, there he goes. And they just run around, and I just thought it was pretty entertaining. This was R&D development for basically the building layout that I wanted to do. Just doing research on how I wanted to go about designing the buildings for the mega base before I even got to it. But yeah, just figured I'd show you guys what I've been up to, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you guys got more questions or anything like that, I'm happy to go into more details on just how all this is going and what I've been doing, and little details on certain things. So until then, guys, hope you guys enjoy. Have a good one.